So you want to make 2024 the year that you get your green card? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 3 things you can do in 2024 to jumpstart your green card process or the green card process for a family member. I am U.S. Immigration Attorney Lilian Chukwurah, and I help my clients get green cards and citizenships for themselves and their family using the U.S. immigration law system. The first thing you want to do is to either get your A file or the A file of the family member that you're applying for the green card for. The reason you want your A file is that you want to know what USCIS already has in there about you. USCIS has information about every application you have ever filed with them. So you want to know what do they have in there before you even get started. If you or the family member that's getting the green card already applied for a visa to the U.S. Embassy, you also want to get a Freedom of Information Act request to the State Department because the State Department handles the embassies. So you want to get a copy of any DS-160, that's the visa application that they have ever filed, because you want to make sure that there is no misrepresentation or inconsistencies in your application. You want to make sure that however the person wrote their name on the visa application is the same way you're writing it now, unless you can show a legal name change. You don't want to start using their nickname when you never used their nickname in the past, okay? You want to make sure that every single thing is consistent. To request your A file from USCIS, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can either create an account on uscis.gov and request the Freedom of Information Act, and make sure that when you're putting in what you're requesting, please do not click I-130, I-94. Don't do that. You're going to go down and you're going to click Other. And you're going to put in entire A file, okay? When you're doing a Freedom of Information Act request, you want to make sure that you are putting in for the entire file so that you have everything that you need. And once you do that request, USCIS will process it and let you know online once it's ready for you. If you're not able to do it online, you can do it on paper. You can file Form G639 with USCIS and they will be able to process that request for you. I typically recommend doing it online because it's going to be faster. Typically within a month or 2, you'll have your entire file. So it's really important that if you're going to request a file, you want to get it to you quickly. So you want to make sure that you are doing that request online on the uscis.gov website. If your family member has never applied for a visa or any immigration benefits with USCIS, you can skip this step. We typically do this if the person has applied before and they can't remember what they put in their application. They can't remember if it was through marriage, through a parent. They don't remember anything about what they filed. In those situations, we want to see the file because we want to make sure that there was no inconsistencies in the past or any inconsistencies in what we're sending in with the current application. Once you have your files and you know this person applied for this, that, whatever, the next thing you want to do is schedule a consultation with an immigration lawyer. This is a key part of the process because you want to know what do you qualify for, who can you file for, is the person you want to file for eligible for the benefit that you want to file for them for. So let me explain situations where the person that's filing may be eligible to file, right? The petitioner is eligible, but the beneficiary is not eligible. In those situations, you really want to pay attention. You really want to make sure you're getting that consultation because it may not be clear that that person does not qualify. So let's talk about the petitioner being qualified. So if the petitioner is the child, and the child is a U.S. citizen, they want to file for their parent. The child is already over 21, they are earning enough income, they're ready to file for their parent, but their parents came in without authorization, or their parent came in with someone else's passport. Their parent lied on an application. If that is the situation, yes, the U.S. citizen child that's over 21 can petition for the parents. However, the parent will not be able to get the green card because they will need a waiver. Okay? So the child qualifies to file for the parent, but the parent does not qualify to actually get the green card unless they're able to apply for a waiver. And if the parent does not have a U.S. citizen or permanent resident spouse or parent, they are not actually able to get the green card because they will not qualify for the waiver. So that is why it is really important that you do not skip this step of consulting with an immigration lawyer before you even file. You want to make sure that you are putting yourself in the best position to actually get the green card either for yourself or for a family member. Okay? So remember, you want to make sure that you are doing this consultation, that you are getting your file or their file, depending on what they have applied for in the past, to make sure everything is cohesive and nothing falls through the cracks. By the way, if you are getting value out of this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Once you have completed the first two things on this list, the next thing you want to do is to file your green card application as soon as possible. Listen, this is an election year. I tell people this. They don't want to believe me. That's fine. But if the administration changes and immigration policies change, things can be horrible for some people looking to file for their family or for themselves to get their green cards. So it is really important that if you know you qualify, if you've went through these steps, you know you qualify for the green card, you know the steps to take to get the green card after meeting with a lawyer, that you are taking the steps to actually apply for the green card. You don't want to wait. Okay, if the administration changes, immigration policy is going to change. So you want to make sure that you are filing when the immigration policy is beneficial to immigrants. Part of filing your application as soon as possible is also making sure that you have all the required documents, all the suggested documents. Do not just send in the required documents, okay? When you're applying for a green card, don't just send in the documents that you see there. Make sure that you are sending in additional documents to prove the relationship. So if it's a marriage-based green card, you are not only sending in your marriage certificate, but if either of you have ever been married before, you are also including any divorce decrees, death certificates that show that those marriages ended. And then you are also including documentation of your relationship. Listen, USCIS, they are not mind readers. So when they get your application and all they see in there is a marriage certificate, they're like, okay, there's a legal marriage here, but how do we know that this marriage is real? So that's why it's really important that when you're applying for these things, you are not only including the required documents, but you are including documents, extra documents to prove your relationship. I tell my clients and anyone that wants to talk to me about immigration that asks me, is this the right time to file? Should I wait? Can I wait? I tell them the same thing I'm going to tell you right now. There is no point in waiting if you know you meet the requirements right now, okay? Listen, the administration before this current one, we have travel bans, Muslim bans, just immigration was not moving for certain people from certain countries. So you do not want to wait, because if the administration changes and those bans come back in and they tighten immigration for family members, not just for people that are coming in, but for family members as well, that's going to affect you. So you want to make sure that you are not delaying this process. You are not waiting unless it is legally necessary for you to wait. Okay? If it's not legally necessary for you to wait, if you have done the consultation with the lawyer, if you have received your file and they're telling you everything looks good, we have everything we need to go ahead, we just need you to send us the documents, sign on with us, let's get this going. Do not delay, because again, administrations might change and you do not want to be left out without a green card if things change. Bonus tip: put your file together in a way that it gives you the best chance of having your interview waived. If you are filing for a parent, just know the chances of your interview being waived is higher than if it was a marriage-based green card application. But even with a marriage-based green card application, you can still increase your chances of having that interview waived by including as much documentation as possible of your relationship that shows the full spectrum of your relationship, how you met, how you are with family, that you post about each other, that you have pictures together, that you have bank accounts, tax returns, things like that. Now, people are going to tell me, well, I just got married, so I don't have all those documents, but I want to file now. Well, guess what? You can still file now with the documents you have. You have proof of your relationship. Just because you may not have a joint bank account, just because you may not have a joint tax return yet, does not mean you do not have proof of your relationship. You have your proof of your dating relationship, right? You have pictures together, you have text messages, you have WhatsApp, you have everything from when you were dating. So when you're thinking about proof of your relationship, do not just look at from your wedding date on. You can also look at before your wedding to show the entire relationship that led to this marriage. Okay, so if you just got married and you want to start, just look at the full picture of your relationship before getting married, up to the time you got married, and then know that if USCIS sees enough in there that they're like, I may want to approve this without an interview, let me ask them for more documents now that it's been a couple months since they filed. Be prepared to send in those additional documents, but don't let the fact that you don't already have a joint bank account or the fact that you haven't filed a joint tax return be the thing that stops you from filing as soon as possible. If you are watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, this is totally me, I need to meet with Lily and figure out what I'm doing with my immigration in 2024, well, go ahead and schedule a strategy session with me so that we can talk about your immigration goals and get you on the right track. You can schedule the strategy session by going to my website, Lillylegal.com, where you can schedule the date and time that works best for you, or you can call my office at 508-443-1788 to schedule that strategy session.